See, first of all, it will never end. It will never stop.
Of course.
I remember when we first started our podcast, and there were a lot of please ban men with mics. In fact, till today, I still don't push my stuff on Twitter. It's sad. It's sad that I should.
You don't want to blow.
It's sad that I should,
blow.
but I don't. No, see, the thing about Twitter is that Twitter is a place of bitter people. I mean,
that's their problem.
Nigerian Twitter is a place of bitter people.
What up, my people? Your favorite men are back in the studio, back on your TV screen, laptop screen, wherever you're listening to us in the world. Your favorite men are back. I am Michael Scenario.
And I'm Muriwa Ogunkoya.
And Menisms is back, ladies and gentlemen. How far now? Long time. I know. How you been?
How's your summer?
Fun. Very fun. I went on tour. Shout out to everybody in the United States that supported, that came to all the events. I did a tour called the Lagos to Yankee tour, and I toured in 9 cities. Was in Atlanta, was in Tennessee, was in Boston, New York, Houston, which was fun as hell, Phoenix somehow, Maryland. And yeah, I did a tour where I hosted a lot of different events in America, and then they booked me to host the events. So it was a lot of fun. I'm going to be talking about it in a content series I'm doing because I don't want to take the whole Menisms about it. But America was fun, and it opened my eyes to just see how big we are. Like, people don't realize, like, even for the TikTok thing I'm doing, is when I went to America that I saw I'm a celeb. Because it's the irony.
The irony. I was about to say the irony.
The star of celeb is here. But it's like every city I went to, people will be like, yo, I know you. You're that dude from TikTok. I know you boys. Menisms. I'm like, Even Sunday last year, everybody knew everything in every city because all the Nigerians and Africans there are watching everything we do here. So for me, it just motivated me and just said like, all right, like we're going to take this content thing seriously. But I was happy for the people that said Menisms because when I went to Afro Nation in Detroit, I wore a shirt.
Right.
Fair Lagos women. And the amount of women that will stop me, that will either say, I watch you and your friend, the yellow one. I'm sorry. They said that. I'm sorry.
Disclaimer, guys. Please, let's know in the comments if am I yellow? I am not.
Is Murray, why are you low-key?
I'm not. I might just be lighter than the average dark-skinned guy, but I'm not yellow.
Lighter than the average? Do you see how these wars start? But
how is that a war? I'm
lighter than the average. You're not dark.
But I'm not like, you know what?
But
again, in the comments, let us know, guys, if I'm light-skinned.
But people saw the shirts. People were like, yo, they watch it. People love the shirt we had. And then I was telling people about the podcast. So it's God, honestly. God was good this summer, man. And then obviously being away from Lagos was a nice mental break.
Yeah, I
mean, how was your summer? Because I know you were here. No, but I mean, you still be doing your thing.
Do we really have a summer in Lagos? I don't think so. We just have a June, July, August, maybe a bit of September.
That's actually the thing is, now that you say that, it's true. Summer is more of if you travel.
Yeah, and
it's like being in school all over again. It's like, remember back in the day in secondary school. Now, if you didn't travel for summer vacation, it's like really you just did. But then if you travel, it's like, how was your summer? Oh man, we traveled.
Yeah. So, but I think one of the highlights for me this past few months that we want to break was this random day, which was very recent actually. This random day, I was at a gas station trying to get some petrol. And the petrol attendant that was, attending to me just said, he looked at me twice. So I just figured maybe he had seen my face on here. I just said, oh, sorry, bro, are you the co-host for Menisms? I was shocked. I was so shocked. I was like, oh, yeah. He was like, oh, yeah, you guys do a really good job. This is a petrol attendant. I'm sorry, but
everybody watches.
I just didn't think that.
That's why I said they brought a new confidence to say, like, people are watching this. Even your guy, the funny thing is, there was a night I was out in Houston that one of Muriwa's guys came to me. He was like, the guy from Menisms now. Muriwa's my boy. I was like, what do you mean? Call him. He said, call him. Take a video. And I now send the video to this guy. Say, see your guy.
I remember that, yeah. So it's crazy. I'm so glad that we're really touching people in the way we are. And we're just getting started.
And make sure, again, to all you guys, make sure you continue to subscribe to us. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Music. We were voted as one of the top 5 podcasts in Nigeria and then one of the top ones in Africa organically. So thank you to you guys, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys. It's not easy because we're men trying to do a podcast when there's a lot of stereotypes in the world, but
a lot of
we're trying to break that. But we'll get into that, Sha.
Yeah.
So one thing. Let me ask you this now. Let me ask an update. We've not seen each other in a while. How's your relationship
I was
status
just
now?
gonna get there because word on the street is that you may or may not be single anymore.
I'm chill. Hey.
Grab my drink.
I got somebody. I'm with somebody. So I'll say
you're with
this.
somebody, okay.
I'll say this.
All right.
I'm enjoying myself with somebody right now.
Okay. All right. So that's the update we've got now.
So everybody should leave me alone. I'm
enjoying life with somebody.
Yeah.
God when.
Yeah, smart man. That's all I'm going to say. You're a very, very, very smart man.
I mean, well, how's that going though? I mean, because it's obviously
chilling.
a change in dynamic. So
yeah, I mean, obviously you're not moving around in Lagos streets as you used to and all that.
Yeah.
And
okay.
to be honest, it's more peace of mind, man. I mean, she's good people, and even for me, like, it just took a lot of maturity to just actually say, like, you have somebody good with you, man. Don't mess it up again. And
So, guys, that's Michael saying that I'm not a mature young man, and I cannot be mature enough to settle for somebody that is good to me.
I do appreciate
We
this
will
setup.
deal with that later.
I really do appreciate this
We will
setup.
deal with that
Well,
later.
you know what? Like I say, well done. When your time comes, it is well. It is well. But no, I mean, like I said, I'm happy though. Like it's a
But
different.
that's good.
And
That's
I'm,
really
and,
good.
and like
That's
I said,
really
it's funny because I'm about to be 31. And by the time this comes out, my birthday would have passed.
Right.
It's funny how, like, going into this new age is, like I said, I wanted a change in my life, and it has come this year. So apart from a lot of other changes in life, it's like, to be honest, I like it this way, man. I've done a lot. I've enjoyed.
So quick one. I mean, since you turned 30, do you think? I mean, because obviously I have my own response to that as well. But do you think that you So you know how people give the whole stereotype of once you're 30, your life kind of like switches down. Do you think you felt that? Would you say you've actually felt that? I'm a 30-year-old.
Yeah, I feel it.
Physically,
because me that I play sports and I'm still an athlete, my body hurts.
Right.
And it's like, wait, I played real football, I played real sports and all that. Before I would recover, next day. Now me, I can recover next day, but it's like, wait, so that next day, you guys humble yourself, bro. Mentally, I've calmed, like. Because like I said, I've done it. Some people have different stages in life. Like, for me, throughout my whole 20s, I've been the one that's done all the parties around the world at this point. Because I've done it from university, after university here. So I've done different parties. I've been around. I've been on streets. I've enjoyed. I've had those experiences that have taught me a lot, both in my business life, my personal life, my spiritual life. So now in my 30s, it's like, your 30s are basically the same, but with more wisdom and then obviously more money. Because we've put in the work these last few years to at least put ourselves in a position that we're better. So I'll say, like, I'm excited for it. 30 was more of the year that I found myself again. Because you always have different periods finding yourself. So 30 was the year I found myself because I became very carefree. Like, now I don't give a damn what anybody says. Like, because I feel like in my 20s sometimes I would look for that approval or sometimes worry about other people's opinions so much, especially being in my industry. But now it's like I don't give a damn anymore. Like, say what you want. I've worked hard. Like, I checked my resume. Like, I've done what I needed to do.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, and I think I can relate to a lot of extent. Although I'm still rediscovering myself in so many stages, and it's so crazy. Because when I turned 30, sorry guys, I'm 26. Just, I'm assuming I've turned 30, so there's context. So, I got to realize that, just like you said, there was a shift in dynamic, right? It won't happen on the day you're turning 30. It'll happen like a couple of months later. It kind of dawned on you, right? And, of course, there was a lot of rediscovering going on at the time. But I think even up until 2 weeks ago, there's still parts of me that are like, am I doing what I really want to do? Should I try something new? Should I, because I got to find that, and I don't know if it's a Nigerian or African thing or it's just general worldwide, but we have this bubble we keep, prisoning ourselves in or jailing ourselves in. So let me give you an example. If you went to uni and studied architecture like me, for example, you're in that bubble of, I'm an architect, everything I want to do has to kind of be, revolve around this thing because I've already started doing this as a career, right? And then you find out that when you want to start something new, you're already thinking, but this deviates from the architecture I'm already doing. Like, this is in no way, relating to what I'm... And sometimes you have to sit back and be like, look, this doesn't have to have anything to do with what I'm doing or what I had to. So, and the reason why I say I think it's an African conditioning is because growing up, like I said, like we said in some of our old episodes, where we're conditioned to always work towards being doctors, lawyers, engineers. Exactly. That one thing, exactly. Because, even growing up, we watched our parents be one thing. What's your dad? My dad is a banker. There was never my dad this.
I mean, there's some people.
Of course.
My dad did this, but
more times the general thing was exactly was like it was just this one occupation, and so it's a lot of working against all of that, trying to work backwards and try to redefine that to your own actual purpose and what you really want to do. So there's a lot of battle going on with, but if I drop this thing, this is what people say I do. Do you get what I'm saying? So if I drop this thing now, I'm not sure I'm not dropping something that is actually what I'm supposed to be doing, stuff like that.
And it's like, I actually had that. It's funny, in the 30 years when I had that awakening, because it was one of my partners now who I'm now working with, one of my boys who we've partnered with, and we've made a new company now.
Yeah.
That's like a consulting company for different things. But he was the one that came to me that was like, bro, you've been doing parties all these years, right? And you've built a network of so many people. Because in my parties, it's not just like club people, it's professionals, it's doctors, lawyers, businessmen, all this stuff. But he's like, what else do you do? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I do other, mainly in marketing and all that. Because some people don't even realize I have a degree even, or two in. Bro, because you do parties, somebody say, I have a master's in international. Imagine somebody was saying, do you know how to do marketing? I'm like, I have 2 degrees in marketing. It's just the parties is what I focus on.
Yeah.
So what he was saying was that, okay, you've been doing this, you have this network. Why not look to branch out to other things? And the whole time I was thinking, damn. Because I've been staying in the same entertainment lane. I've done different things in entertainment.
Yeah, but it's still the
outside
same
of
bubble
entertainment, what have you done? And the thing is, like you say, it's a new challenge of just educating yourself. So even me, it took me, bro, I can't lie. As I said, this summer was a break also that I started learning about myself. I started reading more, surprisingly. Because Lagos, you just go. Because I had time sometimes. I was like, I'll read, I'll do stuff. I'm like, wait. You can actually do something else. So if you just learn it, you get what I'm saying? Even something like tech, I didn't realize, not that it's easy, but it's just to educate yourself.
And
so
be interested as well, yeah.
So it's similar to what you said. I feel like your 30s, because you know yourself, you get to a point that you're more comfortable in yourself that, like you say, you start to branch out to say, this thing I've done, I've probably done enough, or I've hit my peak. Yeah. So now, moving forward, what else can I do? And then the thing is, for some people, you might just even be getting to that stage that you're mastering your craft. Like me, I'm just mastering the event party scene and all that now after these years. But then there's other stuff I've seen opportunities in to start. So I'll say, your 30s are just a year of, it's like a fresh start, man. It's a fresh start.
Yeah. And I think, of course, us saying this is not to kill the banter, but for the people out there who really are worried that, I'm 30, 31, 32, 33, my life is not together. Your life should actually just be shaping up around this age, right? So don't beat yourself up. You have a lot of time, so let's just.
One day I just looked in the mirror. In fact, when I went to America, that's when I said, God, I thank you, because I will see a lot of my friends, not even in a bad way, because some of them are doing very, very well, and the rest of them even are happy. But for example, having kids. Baba, I cannot raise any child right now. Yeah.
If we're being
and
honest.
I'm 30. So imagine if I had a kid at 26, 25. There's a lot of experiences I wouldn't have had or learned even or had the time to do stuff like that. Or if I was in certain situations that, as I said, everybody should really just, I think sometimes we forget to just take a step back and just thank God for your life. Because you can be going through stuff. Like me, I was going through some shit before. Even during the tour, now, I was going through stuff. Then it took some days to just sit back and just say, God, thank you, man. I actually have ABC though. Stuff like that. So you see how that's all in my 30s of just realizing the stresses you went through in your 20s. How many times did you get out of it?
Exactly, yeah. So it's you know what? This is just another stress you're going to get out of. So just relax. Yeah, that's good. That's great. I'm glad we both had great summers.
Yeah.
One of us is hitched, one of us is not. But we'll talk about that a little.
You see, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have a problem with, saying my status right now. You understand? I'm very happy with my woman. However, I'm a private guy. That's all. And maybe, I wasn't ready. It's like Drake said, I'm not hiding you from the world, sweetheart, but...
That's between you and your sweetheart.
Yeah,
talk about
stupid.
that.
Yeah, very stupid.
Anyways, yeah. So we have a question. Would you call it a question? Yes, actually it's a question because it ends with a question. So we have a question that someone has sent to us from the previous season that, we kind of just have to touch on before we move forward.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and read this. This says, Good day, Chiefs. Yo, Chiefs. I'm T, and I am 21 years old. I started dating this girl 6 months ago, and things were going okay until recently she started withdrawing herself. She doesn't visit me like she used to, and she said she doesn't want to have sex again. I noticed she started going to church more often and stuff like that. So I asked her what the problem was, and she said she wants to become a nun. At first, I thought it was a joke, but this girl hasn't kissed me for like a month and a half.
Mad.
So I asked her again if she was serious about her nun stuff, and she said yes. And I know one of the perks of being a nun is no outside relationship. Well, would you call it a perk? But one of the conditions. Yeah, I would say one of the conditions is no outside relationship. I really like this girl, but it seems we have no future. What do I do? Do you want to go ahead? Go ahead.
Go and meet the Lord. Because that's a different fight, man. Not what do you want? That's different. Wow. I've had a girl. To be fair, I've had a girl that, not that she became a nun, but she became very, like at a young age, she became very invested in her Christianity. That she changed and took away some things in her life. While me, on the other hand, I was still doing my thing and all that. And it's not like but the funny thing is when we're together, we were so close. But I know I started seeing, like, as she started growing in her spiritual journey, which I wasn't there yet, like, she started withdrawing from certain things she was doing. She calmed down. Then eventually, it's like everybody in life. When you start reaching certain phases in your life, you start looking at what things are for me and not for me, what people are not for me and all that. And even with our relationship, as much as she liked me and all that, I knew she wouldn't want to be following me to certain places every time or doing certain things every time, you get. So it already started to cause a disconnect that eventually, even me, at that time, I think luckily for me, I noticed it early that I was like, I was able to have a conversation with her. Because me, I'm the kind of person, like, if there's any issue, let's actually talk about it, man or woman. So I went to talk to her about it, and then she opened up to me, and then it was like, all right, fair. I respect your view. So I'll say for him, if he really likes her, he should have a conversation with her in terms of knowing where she is with her spiritual journey, where she wants to go with it, and if he can fit himself in those plans. Because, to be fair, he can still be himself, but there's certain things she's not going to follow you to or do with you. Are you, as a man, also ready to accept that? And it's okay to say no. Like, sometimes as guys, I think when we get into, especially when we're young, if you're in a relationship, you think it's do or die. No, be do or die when you're young. You still get life, I beg. But ask yourself if you can handle it. And if you feel like you can, go ahead. If you feel like you can't, it's okay to withdraw yourself.
So, I mean, I totally agree with you. And I was going to say that I feel like, there's portions of the experience. Obviously, he only had, a certain amount of space or characters to work with, right? But obviously, he hasn't given us any pretext on if they had a discussion about her wanting to go in that direction. And because I don't imagine that she would just wake up, I want to be, or just start doing non-stuff if she's in a relationship with you, without telling you, this is the direction I want to go in. This is what I'm trying to do now in my life.
But don't forget,
because there are people, they're
21, so you don't really have that.
True. So, well, he said he's 21. We don't know how old she is. He might be older. but yeah. So I think again, of course, you've already hit the nail on the head. There's nothing you can do. I definitely don't convince her to not go in that direction, right? So the best you can do is just show support, and if you really like her, I mean, it's crazy that we're the ones saying this now. If you like her, let her go. That thing, yeah. Even though when we were 21, I didn't want to believe that shit, bro.
Where are you going?
But yeah, if you really like her, I think just respect her decisions. If she wants to include you in the plans, like you said, she will. If she doesn't, then I mean, that's life. You take that breakfast and you move, man, because it's breakfast in his own head.
Breakfast, like, 21, there's no such thing as breakfast at that young age. You get life, fool.
See, but that's the thing.
You don't know it's there.
Yes. When you're 21, you're deep in. All the butterflies are hitting you different angles.
To be fair.
Because he clearly really likes her. And...
I'm trying to think,
Man was talking about they haven't kissed in 1 month. He's obviously not even trying to get kisses from anybody else.
Oh, man, that's a problem. Is that a problem for you? If your girlfriend can't kiss you, is that a problem?
Oh, yeah. Because it's show of affection, and the one show of affection she's not even doing willingly.
I'm touchy. I'm like already feeling tired. It's just like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's like you're not even trying to nothing.
Nothing.
I mean, like he said, he had stopped having sex, So like, okay, the sex
Yeah,
one,
that one's
okay, fine, out of the way, but
fine.
not even a kiss.
Respect that, but not even
Yeah, so I think at that point,
So what? Just
gone.
he.
Yeah. That's so awkward, man. Because it might not even be a full hug, might be a side hug.
God forbid. What's the point?
Yeah. So, but anyways, yeah. I mean, good luck with your
Pray.
Yeah.
Go and pray.
Just, yeah.
She's praying. Go and
Not
pray.
not to her, but just pray, okay? Because she's not fully a nun yet. Don't. Yeah.
Could you date a girl that was about to become a pastor or wants to become a pastor?
So that's a very good question, and the easy answer would have been no, but the reason for the no is not because she's trying to be a pastor, but because of my idea of what the whole pastorship thing is when it comes to Nigerian context.
Fair.
And I'm just like, okay, so is it that this is just her own Ponzi scheme? She wants to just cash out or be popular? No, of course, me not saying that all pastors are like that, but I mean, if we're being honest, right? If we're being honest, I mean, you find that, a lot of pastors are balling. Let's be honest, in comparison to their congregation. I mean, you're a pastor with private jets. Your people can barely afford 3 square meals. But again, it's one way to.
So
look
you
at
have
it.
your reservations.
Exactly. So
enough.
I would look at her, and of course, she would try to give me reasons why it's more for the people. But I would have to see that.
So if I was just about to say, she's proving it because I understand where you're coming from. I always tell people when it comes to the arguments like that, I like listening to both sides because for people to say what you're saying, there's facts on it, and there are facts on it. Let's not lie to ourselves. However, there are also a lot of good pastors we don't talk about. Same way with me. So
of course,
I'm saying. So I was going to ask, like you said, if she showed you those good signs early, or not even early, during the process of it, you can see generally she's doing everything to be a pastor. Would you be okay with it?
So, so I think the stage of our relationship will depend on if I'll be because what you're asking now is if I'm giving her like benefits of doubt. So if we're at the stage where I already liked her, right, and then she's trying to switch into that direction, then yes, I would look at the actions. I'm like, okay, this is genuine. She seems like she, genuinely wants to do this to help people, to bring, maybe she's been in this place where she experienced certain things. She wants people to have that same epiphany and be able to, emancipate themselves from. But if it's like we're just talking, we haven't, I mean, I still, I'm not sure where my feelings are towards her. I'm just going to be like, yeah, good luck with your endeavors. I'm not getting involved in that. I am not getting involved in that at all. Because there's actually nothing worse than somebody. There's actually nothing worse than. Now, let me tell you why my reason is at all. There's actually nothing worse than you being celibate because you're trying to, support somebody who's in that journey of Christianity or whatever religion it is, and then they cheat on you. There's really nothing worse than they are the ones who commit the infidelity.
But then, is that not the case of you thinking of the negative already? You're already thinking of the negative.
As an experienced over 30 man, there's no way I'm walking into a relationship at this stage.
But you have to put your guard down if you want to do it.
But that's the thing. Again, like I said,
I had to put my guard down to say, okay, let me be more serious.
And that's because you were already kind of liking the person.
I don't feel like doing this.
You were already kind of liking the person.
But then, how many girls have I liked in the past?
Which is fair, and that's why I'm saying that if I like her a little bit, then I can consider it. I'm like, okay, let me.
But then the thing is, here's the thing about me, and that's why I said she probably passed the test. Is that I would like you, and like I say, give you chances, or I attempt to at least be what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say compromising, but understanding.
Okay.
But if you are not giving me that same energy, back.
Wait, actually, that's it. Hold on. When you say giving the energy back, so what does someone who is going into the whole religious journey, what do they do to show that they're also giving you the same energy? Because your energy.
I'll give you an example. Give you an example. It's so it's so funny we're talking about this now. I haven't talked about this actually before. There was sometimes there was a point in life that I almost disliked girls my age in my 20s that went to church.
Okay.
And when I said that, it's like, not went to church, let me rephrase that were very strong in the church and spoke their mind.
Okay.
Because in
Spoke
my
their
early
mind about Christianity.
like they were very let me explain it. So in my early 20s, obviously,
mean
when I
judgmental?
was
Okay.
because
Okay.
in my early 20s, when I was doing this, when I was even started the party thing, obviously in my early 20s, everybody's different then. So obviously me, I was a little wild and all that shit. Fine, but I knew who I was, and I also had my own faith in God then. You understand? And I would notice, obviously, there are a lot of beautiful girls that go to the church, obviously. And me, I would still go to church, you understand? Like, even though, like, I would do my parties, I knew things. People don't realize something. As much as I was doing my parties and doing everything, there's always a limit to everything I did. And because I knew so many people doesn't mean I did what they were doing. You understand? But then
By association, people would always clump you guys
exactly
together. Yeah.
because the 2 times you might see me, especially at that time, is okay. You'd see me at my event or my party or somewhere else at an event, but you wouldn't see me on my normal regular days, or we wouldn't have those conversations unless me and you actually sat down. So long story short, to get to the point I'm saying is that at that time, a lot of them would be very judgmental, like, oh, because you're doing this, or even how we even said it, like, I look like the guy now that is notoriously single. Like, you judge without actually talking or getting to know me. And even in the Bible, it says, judge unless thou be judged. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but it's like, even me, I take that principle for myself, whereby I don't care if you are the poorest person or the richest person. I will treat everybody the same. Now, obviously, you understand people with higher wealth or importance have a certain aura or a way you address them. But it doesn't mean you are now greater than me or better than me because you have money. And same thing as a poor person. Doesn't mean I'm better than you and all that. So so for me, it's like, even as a Christian, I treat everybody with respect and love. You girls now, on the other hand, don't do that for a guy like me because you're already judging me for my physical appearance or the things you've heard about me without actually talking to me. And that happened for a long ass time. And that's why I was like, you know what, man? Like, I really had a dislike for girls like that, and I always noticed them in the church.
Yeah, I mean,
But then I had to now grow
yeah.
from that,
Right.
and it took time. That's a grow that I had to, like I said, it's just going to that point, like, I cannot care what anybody says unless you actually know me. And that's why I said there's more peace of mind, because guess what? The girl that's meant for me will find her way. I leave you alone, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing about, that church journey is another topic we're gonna have. Like, because I mean, I've worked.
We've been a touchy one.
Yeah,
like we both hit up. Like, yeah, we bring back
in the
some
church. I used to be in the choir. I used to be a saxophonist in the choir as well. Like, so I've worked in the church.
I grew up and I think I grew up in the church, literally. Like, my pastor in Atlanta, Pastor Akinjoju, shout out to you. His son's my best friend. Shout out Toby. But people don't realize that's the reason why I didn't go create. Like, when there's that line in Yankee, as they always say, Yankee boys, like, you're almost there. So me, I'm here.
Yeah, I get you.
I didn't go like this because I was in the church every day. So, but again, it's the judgmental thing that, especially from girls, and then I was like, nah, you church girls, I want to leave you all alone, man.
Yeah. So, and I think I agree. And I think let's touch more on the judgmental thing, because I think that also was one of the reasons why I had to sit back and look at Christianity a lot closer, because I found that so many people that were staunch Christians were so judgmental. Like, I couldn't.
But would you say it's Christians or Nigerians?
No,
because
so of course
Christians is a large.
So you know why I speak on. Of course, we're still talking in the context of Nigeria. I don't know how American Christians are.
Fair enough.
I don't know how British Christians are.
Fair enough.
But I also talk in the concept of Nigerian Christianity,
Fair
because
enough.
it's not just Christianity as a whole. We have imbued a lot of our traditions to it. Like how you have churches that will say don't wear trousers. Those things are things that to me come from you are just trying to put in tradition in what is globally accepted already. So we're talking in the Nigerian context, right?
Fair enough.
And I got to find out a lot of staunch Christians who were really about their Christianity were displaying a lot of what they were preaching against. And I had to really understand how that worked, because you can't be saying you're a core Christian like this, meanwhile you're judging me to the core. You get, and even it literally says, "Who without say cast the first stone." You're just casting stones left and right. Meanwhile, I saw you telling a lie the other. It could even be the littlest lie, but I saw you telling a lie the other day, and I'm just like, okay. I mean, where's the balance here? So I think, and that's why I said, with having to date someone that is a core Christian, it's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot I have to consider. It has to be that, one, we have a lot of history to the point that I have to consider that this is a journey that,
You've been on for a long while that I from afar, I saw it.
Exactly. You get
Okay.
It's either that or I've even known you and you were not on that journey, but that switch is actually, I'm seeing your life quality get better since you decided to switch and be on that journey. It could be that I've known you for the last 20 years and, you were just the average, but now you've decided to really, focus on that and your life quality is changing. And by life quality, you're actually a better, person than you were before by all grounds. With stuff like that, I'll be like, okay, let me see if this is something I can coexist with and see if I can work. But other than that, I'm not considering nothing. I meet somebody new. Oh, yeah, I'm trying to be a pastor. Good luck with your pastorship. It's not my business. It's really not my business. My own is just be a good person day in to day out. Like, I don't really care much because there's so much going on with all of that. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm not trying to be involved.
Last one, and then I'll switch it up.
Right.
If your wife after
If I marry someone that she wants to be a pastor.
if your wife after 5 years wants to become a pastor, what would she say?
So if we're being honest, at that point she's my wife. I have to support. No, it's the truth. At that point she's my wife, and I'll have to support her. I mean, it might be
Hard.
draining, right? And I say draining because you probably have to do a lot of church time, more church time than I normally would. Probably have to do a lot of pastors' meetings. Things that really have to be supported.
Yo, let me tell you
a
right
lot
now.
of screaming at 3
My
a.m.
pastor, right? Like, people don't realize how close I was with their family. Like, I used to stay at their house every weekend. So I'll be at school Monday to Friday. Once it's Friday, I'm off to Toby's house till Sunday or Monday morning.
Right.
So even sometimes during the week, my mom was now like president of the Women's Association in church. So even the prayer meetings and stuff they have, I'll go with her every time. Then if I now stay at pastor's house, I'm seeing all the meetings him and his wife are going to. I'm like, yo, this is quite a lot of obligations you guys have. Oh. And imagine if you have the spouse that's not even the pastoral one. Yeah. Imagine how you have to really, like you say,
you have to like, yeah. So it's a lot. It's a lot too. It's a lot. But like I said, if she's my wife already at that point, I mean, it literally says till death do us part. So it means that any conditions, as long as they're not detrimental to our marriage, any conditions, I just have to support her.
Fair enough.
That's the truth. I mean, but if she's not my wife,
sweetheart, there's too many more out there. I'm not killing myself right now. But let me ask you a question, yeah, because we're on this topic and all. So there's something I was seeing on the media. Well, there's a lot of things I've been seeing on the media since we've been on break. And it's been like a lot of gender wars, and it feels like gender wars between male and female. Like you have the women that have their podcast, you have the men that have their podcast, and then even everybody just taking sides on the podcast is becoming. It's like our generation is just, some people are just ready to fight each other. I don't need men. Men are this. Men are this. And then you have those men too. Women are this. Women are this. And it's like, I feel like we're not actually all just having real conversations in terms of taking accountability for actions from both sides. And that's why I said, like, even for our podcast, for example, now, like, you have people that they haven't watched full episodes or something, but they'll see clips.
And they believe we hate
and
women.
Then they'll now say, these men hate women, misogynist. I'm like, first off, half of you don't even know the word misogynistic or what it actually means. Then number two, if you listen to us, we never criticize women. We talk about male perspective of things, which means we have to talk about women, but we talk about it in a different light. Yeah. Same way with female podcasts. You are obviously going to talk about men. Yeah. But it depends especially on the context.
Experiences are
exactly, but it's what context are you speaking of? So, I mean, there's different things I've seen in it, but I mean, what's been your thoughts, especially in this new podcast era we're in, that you've been seeing? What do you feel about the gender wars that you've been seeing going around?
All right, this is really interesting because I'm a heavy Twitter person, and Twitter is where you see most of the. Oh my god!
I deleted my Twitter.
Bro, there are some days that I just log out for like 2-3 days just to breathe from the gender wars. Every day, one man has done something or one woman has done something. So you see, the problem with gender wars, first of all, is that it stems from generalization. Everybody takes their own experience, and then just every person's like this.
And now you're exactly.
And I say this because, I mean, I've also been there, right? My first heartbreak, what? At that point, I just believed every single female gendered person was just, I'm like, hey, please, just don't, I don't want you, all you women are the same. And I think there's a lot of accountability that's lacking, not just in men and women, but just even in the individuals and their experiences. So I say this because if I have experienced heartbreak, I need to be accountable to the fact that I should understand that heartbreak is peculiar to me. and not that
And
this woman that has...
And sometimes you don't ask, what was the reason for the heartbreak? Did you do something?
Yeah, exactly. It could have been that I also triggered something to cause that, So, but what happens is I take that heartbreak and I run with the narrative. And I go to the next guy who has not had a chance to experience it yet. And I infiltrate his brain. And I let him know, see, women, forget it, bro. That, see, let me tell you what happened to me. If this one happened to me, it can happen to you. And then from there, people just run with it. Right? And so the same thing happens for men. Okay, look at this, general narrative guys have of... I mean, I don't want to call it general because I find it disgusting, but it happens. And so I have to acknowledge it. Like the whole catcalling thing, like a lady walking by now and then somebody tries to say hi to her and she does not acknowledge. And the next thing is, Ashewo. And my mind, I'm thinking, now, she's going to walk away with the experience of
men.
Men were calling her Ashewo. Men are disgusting.
Meanwhile,
men are pigs,
it's not every man. But then again, I'm not even defending the action. It's wrong. But then, like you say, there's also other men that don't do it.
Yeah. So,
same way, vice versa. You can say there's some women now that they're very direct to men when they see them. But obviously, the popular opinion is most times women are the reserved one. Yeah. But you have those ones that actually say shit.
Exactly. So, I think it has a lot to do with...
But then
again, it's the individual acknowledgement. Because now, so what's happened is that now social media has given everyone a platform.
That's the problem.
So you don't have to be a newscaster or somebody important before your voice gets heard. Just be an actual nobody.
But do you know the funny thing? What I like about this, good and bad, obviously, is like even now I've seen this podcast epidemic, as I like to say.
It is an epidemic.
Epidemic with a lot of people, especially in Nigeria. Everybody, and again, what I also say is not wrong. Also on the other side, in terms of everybody's entitled to do what you like
and voice their opinions.
But what I don't like is some of the narratives that are always fueled by, I even say women, because more times than not, you see women on the media side of things than men. Yeah. Like even for us doing this kind of podcasting in Lagos as men only,
it's a new
it's
thing.
not a lot of men that are doing it like that. You understand? Compared to on the other side, there are lots of female podcasts you see, and in those female podcasts, all of them have their different views. But sometimes for some of them, there's certain narratives everybody's pushing. That's been the same narrative since that. It gets annoying because everybody now puts it under the same stereotype. It's like even today, we saw a tweet today that was Lagos men don't know anything. Like the typical shit about like, it's like, yo, sweetheart, you have dealt with certain men in the same circles. Because again, accountability. Because me, by the way, when I'm saying this, I'm not attacking a woman. Because me, I'll take accountability for myself. Some of the women I was messing with, I had no business messing with. Or some of the girls I kept going for that were the same type of girls. Now me, they pick them now. So I'm taking accountability.
I feel like you're shading me, bro.
Ah.
I feel like you're shading me, bro.
Are you sick?
Because we had a discussion just before we started. And this falls very much into that category.
Wallahi, I swear to God.
It's hit you now. It's hit you now.
You are so stupid.
We will deal with this later.
I swear to you, I was not even thinking of that.
Guys, if he's not present on next week's episode, I mean, now you know why.
Do you know what, sorry? I'm thinking, you see, now you've made me lose my chain because I was actually just in a mode of just thinking randomly. You are sick. What I'm
Anyways,
saying,
yeah, so you were talking about
so help me out.
Messing with people you were not supposed to mess with, accountability.
No. Oh, yes. Oh, I was not even talking. That's a funny thing. I wasn't even talking about.
So, but you are.
Do you know what's funny? If I tell you what I was talking about, you laugh.
Okay.
Because you know what? Because when I say it, you'll be like this. Oh,
I really hope it's not what I just thought.
Like I said after. But what I'm saying is, accountability. Right. The same way some women talk about men in a certain light.
Yeah.
You keep going for the same type of men, or you mess with the same men in the same circles. What results do you expect? Even if you say, it was one man that was outside, but he has certain qualities or certain things, which is, again, I'm not attacking you as a woman. I'm saying as a person, because we're just looking at the example. Same thing. That's why I brought myself as an example, saying I used to complain about certain type of women, I'm going through the same thing. Who's the one that keeps going to those same women? It's me. So I got to take accountability. So that's what I mean in the podcast thing, in terms of when people are ready to push these narratives, also be ready to take accountability to yourself to say, as much as these people did this, I also had my faults in this. Because the same way I can say, me, I'll suffer that break. Almost some days were playing funny. But then, like I said, I had to sit back and say, you too. As much as you are complaining, you too, you are doing player boy too. You are not being serious. You are not being accountable.
You know, the thing is, with this whole gender thing. See, first of all, it will never end. It will never stop.
Of course.
I remember when we first started our podcast, and there were a lot of please ban men with mics. In fact, till today, I still don't push my stuff on Twitter. It's sad. It's sad that I should.
You don't want to blow.
It's sad that I
want
should,
to blow.
but I don't. No, see, the thing about Twitter is that Twitter is a place of bitter people. I mean,
that's their problem.
Nigerian Twitter is a place of bitter people. And one thing about Twitter is that if they kind of cancel you, it's hard for you to work back from it, even if it's for no reason, right? So I'm trying to just take our time, see how we can navigate and work around that. But my point is this now. So gender wars are very, 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 very active on Twitter. And, via Twitter, it gets on other social media platforms like Instagram and whatnot. Now, when we started our podcast, rather, I remember then, even just outside of social media, people just be like, ban men with mics. I mean, it was even a thing. It was like a phrase, ban men with mics, and I'll be honest, there were certain times that I just felt like, I mean, I know that I have a lot more different perspectives than the average man that is being questioned in this scenario. But is it that I would never, because of this other stereotype, I won't have a voice to then air out what I think and feel on certain views? Because I know that I think better than these people.
You know what's funny? Some of the like how you said you want to talk about from a Lagos Nigerian perspective. Every time I see some women complain about certain men or something, I can literally go and point to the kind of men they're talking about, because I see these men, especially in my industry, I know who they are. But then I can easily go and point to all my other guys and us and say, wait, none of us are even like this. Not saying we're perfect. Not saying we don't have our own problem, but again, it's why I say you go for the same. It's literally written on your face.
You just even mentioned something that I would just want to add to. So, as like you just said, you can point out the guys. I also want to let them know that sometimes you could even find those people in our circle, but we're not guys with them to the point that we get. Let me give you an example. And this is one that's always very popular. Like, now your friend is a rapist. You two are a rapist. Okay. I mean, as we see where they might come from the big victim end. Okay, right? But then how about also actually the way guys cultivate friendships? Even at the gym, I see a guy today, see a guy tomorrow. By day 3, we're saying hi.
Every day.
Let me tell you, somebody was asking me recently that, you don't really follow guys back. I said, let me tell you something. I don't even know who I'm following. If I'm following a woman back, I don't need to know her. Like, if she's a molester or whatever, it has nothing to do with me. Because they won't say that, I'm friends with her. But if it's a guy, and a guy I don't know, he's following me, all I do is follow him back. We've never said anything to each other. This is what it is. They'll be like, these guys, you're even following this guy. So this guy that's a rapist, I don't even know him.
Social media is not real.
I'm just following him back. We've never had a discussion. I know people who have said, by virtue of this person I'm following, they couldn't even give me a deal. I'm like, I don't understand. I don't even know the person. And it's like, that guy has a huge history of assaulting women. How can I know?
And I would say, because I know some women that will listen to this will ask the questions, well, why don't you guys talk or ask these questions? Well, the thing is
so I should ask every guy that, hi, sorry, are you a rapist, bro?
Not even that. It's just, like you say, well, I'll say, guys, when we say we're friends, it's more like we're cordial.
Yes.
We're easy. Us guys, we're easy to throw that word friend, because it's more of like, if I at least see you outside, we go acknowledge each other. And at least if there's a business or something I have, I can at least go to you to talk. Because that's mainly what it is. Because on the deeper personal level, it takes a real sit down, which a lot of us don't have with each other.
In fact, I think when guys are really friends, we don't use the word friends. We be like, that's my brother. You'll be like, that's my G.
You get what I'm saying? Because
you've
had experiences together outside of maybe the club, outside of just a party or sports or gym, that you had those talks or you've had experiences, both good or bad, that you say, I know the character of this person. Like for me now, I tell people, a lot of people know I know a lot of people, especially a lot of guys. Now, it's not that I'm denying anybody, but a lot of guys I don't know on that level. You understand? We may be cool. I can invite them to events. You understand? Or if we have business together, we can talk. But then there's still a number of guys I have relationship with that we've sat down, we've talked as men, we've looked out for each other, stuff like that, that at least I can vouch for to an extent. But there's a lot that I can't even say I know their outside life. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong. Because again, do you want me to get to know everybody? It's if it happens organically. Because even this way, I've had situations where some guys get called out for rape and all that, and I know I've seen them at one of my parties. now I'm panicking.
In fact, you might even have a picture where you guys are.
And the thing is, and that's in the past, and then it's like, wait, too, this thing happened months later or something that I've not even seen the person since. You understand? I don't even know that. Like, it's more of how far. Now this thing has come out again, like you said. Somebody question you, why are you following them? Why'd you do this? Da 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 da.
Or you say, well, I see you guys are guys, so you are guys with this kind of. I'm like,
I don't know the situation, but then again, that's why I said it's like it comes down to the ones how we address things, because there's some women now that can come address you in a realistic manner in terms of have a conversation, and that you can relate and level with them. But then you have a lot of women that come in an attacking form with that communication. Like you said, oh, you're following this guy. This is this. It's like an honest conversation cannot be had if you're already coming to attack me. Now, if you come to understand the situation, trust me, you yourself will calm down, at least in the situation, which is why I say for both sides. Because even some men too, their own blood is hot too, because they're also waiting for the girls that say, and you see, but she was lying though when it comes to this rape stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so it's both sides.
In fact, let me tell you, what's really happening now is that. So because, again, of course, our topic is not on rape, but this is just an angle, right? So because there's been a lot of rape accusations, there have also been a number of false rape accusations that have been confirmed, like, oh yeah, we confirmed that girl was lying just to get some attention, just to maybe tarnish this person's image. So now we're in a place where, and it's sad to say that the guys that are even culprits, right, would also call on the bullshit of, oh, I'm sure this one too, she's lying, she's accused. So, now that they've created a platform for people to say they are also false rape accusers, the people who are actually also doing the rape that we are trying to fight against, that is the guys, are also trying to take advantage of that. Do you get what I'm saying? By saying things like, oh, that one, she will nowhere now, so she always do now. She could just accuse guys anyhow. I'm always very careful to know, like, because of course, naturally, if a guy says he's being falsely accused, I kind of want to be on his side. Because I can understand how vile that can be and how image tarnishing that can be.
And the thing is, I always say, like, quietly, because obviously it's none of my business. If you see, you see.
Yeah.
If you have evidence to support you, hopefully bring it out ASAP.
Exactly. And that's why I said
bring it out ASAP.
So the initial thing is to want to be on the guy's side. But now that I've also seen that there are guys who will take advantage of that, I'm not like, okay, so I'm sorry, but some of you guys, you get what's coming to you, because
I think it just feels like you say to communication, because even outside of, let's say, rape, let's go to a lighter topic, because that's a strong one.
It's a strong one. Yeah, it's a strong one.
Okay, look at something like, you've seen this thing with Jada Pinkett that's been happening. That's a social topic. Because me personally,
see, I'm clenching my fist.
I'll tell you my honest opinion. I don't give a damn. In fact, I'm so annoyed seeing her pop up on my thing, because Jada Pinkett to me was in my good books for life. Okay, you're Will's wife. You two, you were cool. You were an artist. She was a musician. She's a great actress. One of my favorite movies of all time is Set It Off, and I loved her character. Like, she's
even in Matrix, bro.
Matrix. And you two, you've given birth to great kids that are talented. You've been like that far away auntie that we don't know. But now you are literally just bad mouthing this man. Ever since this man walked on stage to take a slap, to go and put his hand for somebody for you. Forget. Obviously I say that even as a joke, but even outside of that one has happened now. You two, you had your entanglement issue back then. That one has already gone under the rug.
Do you know for a second
it's gone under? Because again, we didn't ask for it. Now you're coming, and the man's character is literally being degraded each interview you have. He's not saying anything. And it's like, okay, for what reason are you really doing this? Is it to, okay, if you want to say, I want to tell my story and all that, it's like, there's a lot of past stories that were years back that is like, you've not told that one. Who's really, and even that, are you telling the full context of it? Or, okay, why not both of you sit down, as you say, if you're still close, sit down. You're the one that does red table talk now, that you bring everybody. Why not both of you have a conversation about it, that he can at least say his side, or at least if you're there together, the story correlates. Because guess what? We should know how, you should know how the media works, especially in America. They're going to take one narrative and run with it. And especially with people that are obsessed with, and a lot of people form the narratives of the world based off social media and celebrities. So now a lot of people are going to take those stereotypes or things she says and run with it as, but see how this sounds.
Yeah, because look at it. I mean, let's not forget that their love was literally every musician's go-to. Oh, I want that Will and Jada love. Like, it was, everybody kind of looked up to their relationship, right? Including me. I looked up to that because it seemed very peaceful. Up until the entanglement thing, there was just, and even after that, it kind of felt like they kind of sorted their shit out. Everything was kind of good. It just seemed like they were two people who kind of understood each other beyond just the label of a relationship. But clearly now, I mean, I don't know her to the point of anything, but she seems like a very manipulative person. She seems like, Will is just so, and this now comes back to also the point of, because gender wars also gets into the, men being able to come out and talk about the things they're going through and stuff like that, and already know that they can't because they'll get shut down almost immediately.
Mama, see, one thing I've learned that I could control my narrative for life. Oh. If you like, say anything. If evidence day, or at least I have my story, I go say my story because it's not you that will go and determine my own story. Yeah. And the thing is, I understand when you get to certain levels, if you talk. But for me, I'm sorry, maybe it's the Nigerian in me and the stubbornness. Because Will is American, they'll say, I just want to keep quiet for my wife, I love her.
No,
once they say,
but
once
she comes out, wife.
Me and Will have been, me and Maya have been this, ABC, next interview. Michael Shanari was here. Hi. So what happened? So this is my side of the story. And by the way, here's evidence, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm like that. I'm sorry. You're not. It's not me. You will go and badmouth my name, and I will sit down there when evidence did that we were even together.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we can't tell what Will is thinking right now, but I just kind of feel like he's just thinking more about his kids and just how the whole thing was. He just probably doesn't want to make it any more of a mess than it already is.
That's why I tell people, the whole celeb thing to me is like.
Yeah.
It's weird because like even for me like I just feel like I said there's two more levels for both of us to go to, but it's like even me that I have small popularity, as I say, it's like if I was to get to that level of a big celeb and all that, I still have the same mindset that I don't care because I feel bad for them whereby it's other people that control your narratives. That's one. And two, there's sometimes you have to think of your brand and business in terms of communicating. Because now I understand why Will Smith is not talking. There's a brand behind Will Smith. That name is a brand, is a business.
Yeah.
You can't go and mess that up, going back and forth. So you have to keep quiet. But then it's like, again, because of the whole celeb media stuff, there's narratives being formed about him now that the man himself can't defend until now he's ready to. Because, sometimes they'll go and wait months till he dies down.
And then
come out and say your side. And not, so you have to be strategic with it. But when it's hot, when everybody cares, like you have to be quiet. So it upsets me. And then again, unfortunately, I'll say with the gender war, most times it's the man that has to keep quiet in those relationship talks and all that. Because like you say, the way society has put it, we have to keep quiet. Like, let me give you an example. It's only rare cases you see some men talk out. And when I say men, let me even flip it. Black men at times were the ones that can't talk as much. Black as part, not just American, African. If you are black, it's hard for us to talk. Because give you an example. There's a famous YouTube couple now that recently divorced or broke up. One white guy, one black girl. And they were one of the pioneers of YouTube, apparently. Like, they were the YouTube couple doing it. They were making money.
Okay.
Apparently, the wife now was still communicating with the ex-boyfriend. Or still in love. The guy said he's still in love with her and they were still communicating. Only for the white guy, that's her husband, to find out they were still in talks or they even met up and all that. So, he divorced. And from there, the girl switched. Like, even at one point when he's like, I'm divorcing you and all that, he has the video evidence of her just like being very aggressive and physical, stuff like that. And then he now made videos talking about it and stuff like that. The funny thing is, it sounds weird, but he's allowed to, it'll be like he's allowed to do that because he's white. So it feels like people be more
I see what you mean.
To listen to his side of the story. Even though he's a man, you'll still have those women that criticize him because he's a man doing this and what's the real story and all that. But he's white, so white people get away with certain things. And it's not a race. This is not a race thing because again, it's not like blacks are better. No, we're just saying the reality of the world. There's actually a lot
more toxic masculinity in the
black community. Because if that was switched to the black man, he was doing all this and all that. He could still be getting He still could get criticized for even just trying to say the truth while he's the victim.
Yeah, I agree. But now, so I have a question because we're talking about narratives now, right? But think about it this way. Because again, of course, I believe that you should create your own narrative. But it's a lot easier for us to say it now because we've come this far, right? Now, let's go back to someone who is 22, right? And he's just putting together narratives, right? And now he might not have experienced any kind of heartbreak, but his very close guy, just got shattered by one babe. And I mean, she dealt with him. He did all the love everything. She was entertaining other guys. I mean, the shattered type of shattered. She would always tell him, oh, no, sorry, I was down then. I'm okay now. Take him back, break him again, take him back. That kind, right? Now, he's your close guy. You witnessed all of this happen. Now, not saying that you're not also witnessing good people as that's happening to him, right? You're also witnessing like good women treating their men right, treating their whatever. But you see, the problem with narratives is that everybody wants to have a one-up. Everybody wants to be a step ahead. You don't want to be the one not knowing what to have done in that situation, like especially when it's presented itself to you. So to him, the friend, he's going to look at it like, wait. So life just gave me this experience to learn from. Luckily it didn't happen to me directly, but it happened to one of my guys that I literally watched him go from this guy who was used to crying on my laps, saying that, he can't believe this girl did this to him. I mean, it's easy for us to say that, create your own narrative, but I'm sorry, but that young guy is going to walk with the narrative of women are horrible.
No, because again, it's...
No, when I say narrative, I don't necessarily mean that he's going to just go saying, oh, you're a horrible person. But when he's trying to have a relationship, he's going to be on guard so much.
Yeah, but that's what I say. But he'll know it's not all women, because when that good girl comes to you, she's going to be the one to make you take your guard down. It's so funny you said this.
But the worst part is if that girl to also now does.
No, and even if she does, bro, I'm telling you, it's process. It's like process, not for every guy, because some guys find that girl and, I'm done. Mm-hmm. And they're good.
And some guys
I'll tell you my story. I experienced a lot of shit. Like, even my story, I remember there was one girl, I'm not going to say her name for legal reasons, but before they go and come back and say this, we're going to call her A.
Okay.
A.
All right.
In university, this girl from first year to final year, I'll say to my third year, because by fourth year I said fuck you. This girl had a hold on me. Never did anything, but she was very manipulative. I had to catch myself there. Okay. She was very manipulative in terms of, like you say, hot and cold. You like me, you don't like me. You're talking to another guy. At one point, she was talking to 3 of my niggas and I at the same time.
Wait, did you know or you found out later?
We found out later. In fact, it was more than 3. I'll never forget, because it was third year that I found out. Even another one of them, I've never guessed this guy. And that's another downside of knowing a lot of guys as a guy. It's like, you can know one guy that knows your babe. But hey, so with that now, it happened. And I remember it took, like I said, even though through first year, third year, I was still doing my shit. By second year even, I got a girlfriend even that time, and then I left her alone. Then when I was single, she'll still come back, and then on and off, once in the blue. You get what I'm saying? But there was a point by third year, and now at this point in third year, I'm probably 22, 23, that I'm like, nah. I had to look myself in the mirror and say, you're better. Like, you. And this is where advice comes into play, because people didn't give me that advice. And that's why I said we have platforms like this that we're giving advice now.
Wait, before you continue, sorry to cut you off. Before you continue, so had you witnessed someone else getting heartbroken before that? Would you say?
As in people?
Yeah, like your guys. Like your close guys.
Hey, people come to me to advise. That's the weird thing. Okay. Like, even before, people used to come to me, your mic and all this, and it's like, damn. Like, because the thing is, I have seen stuff and known stuff because, like, of my experiences. But then you too, you're human. You have your experiences and all that. Yo, people, what? I see one of my boys. I remember one of my boys came to the house crying. Crying. And even me too, I've had my experience. I've cried and all that. Lord. But that's what I'm saying. Like, even from those experiences, like, I've seen stuff, so I know how to emotionally, like, have conversation at that time. Now, with women, I didn't know certain things of how women move and how they're very, they're smart. So with her, like, again, it was always on and off that eventually by third year, I had to say, nah, fuck this. Like, in me, myself as a person, forget man, no. I shouldn't be treated like this. You get what I'm saying? And I had to just tell myself, nah. And from that day, any girl that wants to move in that way, I go leave you. Now, it doesn't mean I was perfect throughout the rest of my life. But more times than not, trust me, if you're a girl that are doing like this, I don't have your time. You have those 1 or 2, 3 that will come in, and still move like this. Like, for example, when I came to Nigeria, I was single after COVID. That was a whole different ballgame, because I thought I had sense, and I did, until you meet some girls that's smart.
Don't fucking kill me, bro.
Whoa.
Don't fucking kill me, bro.
Or more, these babes in Lagos have a different ballgame.
I'm laughing because this is an inside joke.
Exactly. And it's not just her, and it wasn't just her. But I'm just saying, like, you thought, Yankee boy. Okay, in fact, that's the worst. That's why I said I understand why women in Lagos love the foreigners. They're just like you. You think you have game, bro. Don't worry. And it's vice versa. Same thing for the guys. But all I'm just trying to say is that, like, for this younger generation, one thing I didn't do was ask for real relationship advice. I always just sought advice from like
afar, yeah.
from my boys that were older than me or other boys around me that even them they're trying to figure out. Compared to actually asking like older people, compared to maybe listening to podcasts as we're doing right now. Because podcast wasn't really a thing in our time in uni, you know. But that's what I'm saying. Is like there's more information out there for you to at least listen to that and apply it to your real life. Yeah.
Yeah, because again, okay, this is even one stereotype that I think kills me the most. Like, the whole idea behind, men will just always be cheats. I think that's one stereotype that, till today,
we all have the potential to cheat.
See,
man and woman.
You know what's so ironic? It's ironic because I'm coming from experiences where I was cheated on more than once. So imagine me now, like, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it.
I get what you're saying because
imagine
like,
people saying
wait,
that
you women will be the first to call men cheats, while some of you have done the worst that we thought nobody will find out, and when we found out,
and so I'm just here like, people are saying, "Oh, you men are saying," I'm just looking, I'm like,
so it should be really both. So that's why I said, use like we said for the initial conversation that. Accountability.
Yeah,
both parties cheat. Yeah, because the funny thing is, people are going to easily say men cheat more. The problem is men
are
get
just
caught.
messy.
No, men get caught more.
Yeah, they're just messy. They don't.
Men get caught more.
Yeah, women are smart, like you said.
Thank you. And again, I'm not attacking the women. I'm just telling you,
it's
the narrative is going to say men cheat more because we're very careless. You go leave clue. If a woman wants to cheat on you, if she doesn't want you to find out, on God, you can never find out.
Look at the amount of DNA scams we keep seeing every day come up, and then you find out, this person's not your child. Do you know the amount of intelligence you have to run to be able to?
Do you know the day
marry a man who's?
I've checked my CV. I've never gone for anybody's girlfriend. I don't care. There's billions of people in this world. If you have a man and all that, let it be. And the reason I say that is because I had a situation before where the girl didn't tell me she had a man.
That's the worst, my God. I have another experience with this.
She didn't tell me. And then after, when you're together, we spend the whole day together, the man called. And I'm there.
Oh, God.
At least, even for me, let's just be real.
Yeah.
Even me, I will have the decency, if I was to ever do that the person I'm with, you'll not even hear their voice. Like, that's just disrespect. Like, you don't even know.
On speakerphone or something.
No, they're there talking on the phone. Yeah, I'm just doing this. Meanwhile, I don't know anything. But then I'm now hearing the conversation and clocking like
adding things up.
The fuck? I'm like, wait, even if I want, like, I still would even put you in that situation. At least there's respect. It sounds funny to say respect because you're not actually having respect because you're cheating. But decency.
Are you even being decent? No. But I get what you mean.
You get what I'm saying. That the person, but that man is on the phone thinking you're alone. The person is right beside you. And this is not man. No, this is what I'm saying. Woman doing it, but you don't see me saying every woman is a cheat. Every woman is this because I've seen it and experienced it.
I like this. I like this because you weren't even coming from the angle of being cheated on while you're in a relationship. You were coming from the angle of being the cheatee.
I'm single.
While somebody was cheating on her partner.
I don't know until after.
Guy, do you know
what do you want me to do?
I mean, I hate to have to talk about how many times I've experienced that, but it's literally a.
You don't ask enough questions.
Of course, I don't. I know that. You see, it's a simple. Bro, are you single? If you say yes, that's it. I'm not trying to dig in.
I mean, to be fair, no. That one's different.
I'm not digging in.
If I ask you if you are single and you say yes, whatever happens is your own problem because you said yes. So I understand.
No, but you know another thing also
is the ones that now give you story. Well, once they start,
so actually, even those ones I've had times when you're like, actually, I do have a boyfriend, but shall I give one reason, shall? Now, I decide because they've given me the option to now decide. I now decide if I want to further, conversations with that person or I'm just gonna cut it off. Like, now my problem with the people who don't tell you what the thing is that it doesn't, like, now I said I've given myself the option to choose whether I want to. When I don't have the option to choose is where I have the problem. And that brings us back to the people who don't tell you they have a boyfriend. You're talking, and this is, again, of course, all of this still is under the umbrella of accountability, under the umbrella of narratives and stereotypes that are actually not true, as people say. And so okay, I ask you, do you have a boyfriend? You say no. And then when we find out there's a boyfriend figure, and I'm like, oh no, actually he's not my boyfriend, but it's somebody that we used to date before. We're not. Hey. Your mouth is moving like a.
Once I hear, liar.
Shut it. So
liar.
Now, my problem with that is, it's literally the same thing they say men do. Oh, are you married? You said I'm not married, but I'm married. What's the difference?
And that's another thing that annoys me too. Is like the whole married stigma. I'm like, there's so many young, unmarried guys.
Nah, bro, we've tackled
and
this
you,
before.
oh, I know, but
why.
it's like you go to going to the same. Why is it you that every time is married men you are meeting or you're always in that? All the young sweethearts. There's a time you have to ask yourself.
You know the thing is, women always say that, oh, there's no supply without demand. Now, let me get this. And they say that from the context of, oh, men keep saying that, oh, this person's a prostitute, but then there are prostitutes on the road. Who is patronizing those prostitutes? Is it not the same man? Which is fair. It's a fair argument. There's no supply without demand. The same thing you just said. If married men knew that single women are no-go, that if you go to a woman that is single as a married man, she will easily turn you down, there would never be a demand for married men. But where a married man has the confidence, because knowing fully well that I can tell you I'm married,
doing the same thing, going for the same type of girls, because he himself knows he can't. That's the thing. A married man knows he can't go for every single girl. There's certain type of girls he goes for that are the same girls that will control the narrative.
So I mean, it's unfortunate, and
and this is not an attack, by the way, to all the women. This is not an attack on women. No. Again, this is a male podcast that we're speaking from a perspective, but we're just saying the truth because
women, but these are the attack men too. So
exactly, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you see how we just broke it down now, saying that married man knows he can't go. He knows he can't, because he has stuff to lose now. So he's going to be specific. Men too are not that dumb. We're very calculated. So he's going to see the type of girls that. Yeah, she can still fuck with me even if I tell her now.
So you see that, and that's the thing. So,
and guess what? So you too, you go and carry your head too and say,
and that's where, and I actually like that because that's where the two parties have completely thrown accountability out the window. Because as the married guy, what are you doing, bro? Your wife and children are at home waiting for daddy to come back. You are at this person's wedding reception, looking for the next. Now you, single woman. You're supposed to be looking for a single man that you maybe further your life with.
And it's because he doesn't have what she needs right now.
But you go to the man that is married because he's more stable and most likely has more money. Well, I mean, again, some other people also say that they prefer married. I don't know what their reasons are, but again, it's accountability because the truth is we always know the things that are messy when we are walking into it. We know. There's no arrangement of a married man, single girl, he has a family.
I'm just saying, my own is, again, this is not a judgment thing or anything. My own is for anybody, man or woman. If you know you like something or you're doing it, own it with your chest. If you are married and you're doing your thing, own it with your chest.
Exactly.
If you are going for a married man, own it with your chest. But don't start pointing fingers.
Or start creating narratives and saying,
There's a point my friend said that I was going for bad beats. There was certain type of bad beats I was going for that were problematic. And eventually I had to look within and I said, all these bad beats you keep liking that you're trying to keep going for, that you're now about, that they like you, but there's problem. Who the hell keeps going back to those same kind of girls? Is you, Mayawa. Is you. You get what I'm saying? You keep having the same problem.
Look, you think you're trying to shade me, but we'll get to that.
I'm not shading you. I think we've covered about everything at this point.
So you're going to close with that shade?
I'm going to close with that point because
but I think we've covered most of it. Again, it's an open conversation.
It's still something, and the thing is, what's funny is in the comments, I already know people are going to start having those discussions.
Yep.
And that is why it's good to listen so you have perspective. Because
again, I'm pretty sure our fans, if I'm going to call them that, know the kind of people we are, and we're very honest and open. In the end, it's still just about openness and honesty. And the truth is, we never pick sides on anything. It's always just look. And I think in the end, this is more about accountability for both. We've been saying this from the beginning. Accountability from both sides. The minute we start to actually own up to our actions, like you mentioned earlier, with our full chest, a lot of all these men are this, women are this would really die down.
I have nothing. See,
because the irony of it is the same gender wars is still the same men ending up with same women. It's still the same. So where are we drawing the line? You guys will fight online and then, oh baby, are you home yet?
There's a time I remember I was just attacking Lagos based all that because I kept going. for a certain type of Lagos babes.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
I know what you mean.
see how Lagos babe have caught me. But
Exactly. The same Lagos
well,
woman
she's
you're
not
running away
Lagos
from.
babe, she's not Lagos babe, but you know.
But she lives in Lagos.
Touche.
Yeah, so we have that.
Anyways,
guys. Yeah, so this was great. This was
goodness. Well, we're back. We're back. It's a good startup
welcome back
again.
into the season.
Again, make sure you subscribe to all our audio platforms, our YouTube, our Spotify, our Apple Music, everything. Make sure you check our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to that. And we also, like I said, it's a new season. We're gonna keep rocking. Make sure you follow us, because I think even now we can say the road. I mean, it's good that the episodes are starting now, because Loki is gonna lead to the road to December.
Yeah.
Dirty December is coming up. So even with that, as we've talked about this, as you're going into Dirty December, have accountability.
Go with accountability, please.
Go with accountability. Have fun, but be accountable.
Yeah. And then also, I mean, Menisms is having its own channel now, right?
Oh,
so you guys we want full subscriptions. There's no story. There's no
watch the whole
I'm
thing,
only here
please.
for something. We're here, fully as a channel now, so we need all the subscription we can get. All right. Call your friends. I mean, we do good stuff, so you guys already know. So, also don't forget to send us emails, send us DMs if you guys have any questions. We will do our best. We're not therapists, we're not psychologists. We're just two guys sharing our perspectives on.
Please let nobody say I'm a relationship expert, all that stuff, man. I'm just speaking my mind from my own stuff. I don't know everything. I still they figure stuff out. You understand?
All right, so
wait, soft plugs? Any soft plugs? Do you want to plug anything?
Yeah, so I mean, you'll be seeing a lot more of my fashion hands on my partner here as time goes on.
They forced me to change my branding and clothing.
So just keep your eyes peeled for that.
I'll say as soon as this episode drops, Sunday last year anniversary is coming up, 2 years. So we're celebrating our anniversary next Sunday, not next Sunday, on the 29th.
Okay.
So as you're watching this, it's on the 29th. So make sure you get your tickets, come through, celebrate. If you've never been to one of our beach parties, oh my God, you're in for a good time. But we'll all be there, We'll all be there. We'll be enjoying. Are you coming with anybody?
I'll be there by myself, sir. I am a single man. I will be coming as a single man to enjoy singly.
Hopefully you meet somebody there.
Hopefully.
Sunday last year has actually started a lot of relationships, low-key.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, hopefully not.
You're not ready still?
I'm just remembering the relationships that could have started for me in the past. And
okay, we're just going to move on there. And thank you,
some of their boyfriends didn't know they were there. Let's just put it that way. Till next time, guys.
Don't go and put my business in All right, guys. So next time, thank you, guys. I'm Michael Scenario.
And I'm Moro Algunkoya.
I will see you guys next week.